G'day everyone, and welcome back to another shell finding adventure. Our first shell find today looks like it's going to be this guy. He looks pretty shiny. Yeah, why not? He doesn't have a super deep color, but he's got a super nice bit of a gloss on him. This one is an eroded cowrie. Next up, it looks like he's got a bit of a shine. I do like the shiny cowries. There we go. It is probably the most common cowrie around here. It's just a little graceful cowrie. That's maybe a nice little cone shell. Maybe. I think it's good enough for us. This one's got a bit of a yellow coloration on it, but otherwise quite plain. It is the West Pacific grooved cone. That's kind of a cute crowned cone just sitting there. Yeah, I was kind of like wondering if there was going to be a crab in it because it was sitting very kind of like purposefully there. Anyway, this one is the most common cone shell around here, but they've got like 1,000,001 slightly different patterns on top, so you'll never find one that's exactly the same as the last one you picked up. I never usually lift rocks, but something did possess me to lift this one, and there is a brown lined paper bubble right under there. Oh, let me just get my hand out from there. There we go. It's actually a pretty nice one. It is actually a very nice one. Its lip is fully intact. It's got nice little patterns on it. Oh, that's a very cute little guy. And also, yes, I will very carefully flip this back over because there are little snail boys living on the underside and I don't want to hurt them unduly. Oh, is that whole? It does look whole. There we go. This one is a rarity for the Sunshine Coast. I find them up at Harvey Bay with, some regularity, but here is not so often. It is a little Indo-Pacific arc shell, aka a turkey wing. There is a lot of shell grit down here, but obviously the bright orange thing has caught my eye. Do you open? Yes, you do open. There we go. Not much on the inside, but on the outside, it is a beautiful orangey red bird cardita. And I also want this guy, a little tortoise dove shell. They are very common around here. I have been seeing a lot of these lately. I wonder if they're just not doing good with the warm weather. Oh, this one's got a lot of algae on it. Anyway, still nice otherwise. It is a discrepant Venus. And there we go, a second discrepant Venus. Oh, this one is much nicer. Nice and orange on that hinge. A lot smaller, but it is in a lot nicer condition. Also, I do want to show this guy off. Yeah, it's just a cowrie. It's just one of those yellow-toothed cowries I find here fairly often, but he has faded to a light brown color, so that's what they look like after they've been weathered for a while. Please forgive that wind, everyone. I do want to look at this Spangler's trumpet down here. I don't usually find them on this side of the lighthouse unoccupied. Yes, it is unoccupied. Let me just get out of that wind. There we go. It is a wonderful looking Spangler's trumpet because it's still got a lot of its periostracum on it. You can kind of see it looks like it's covered in a fine fluff. That is the snail's original coating on this one. Oh no, I just checked. You can barely see it, but I think I see an obstruction way at the back. I didn't think the operculum could be swallowed that far back in, so it feels pretty heavy, so I was kind of like wondering if it was alive or not. I dare say it is. I'm going to put him, I dare say someone's just probably picked him up, tossed him back in, and he's filled up with sand. I'm going to put him somewhere much safer. Are you any good? I think his markings have worn away on top. He's supposed to have speckles. There we go. He's probably, I don't know, actually, I'll see how he dries. This one is a yellow-toothed cowrie. The bottom of it looks only half developed, so it's probably a sub-adult one. So maybe he just didn't grow all of his speckles on top in the first place. Oh my goodness, right in the front pocket. Can I grab it before a wave gets me? This one. Whoa. And it is empty. Whoa. Oh my goodness, look at that. This is like the front pocket where no one has actually been able to get into because of the high-low tides lately. Oh my goodness, that is very exciting. And also, yes, I am double checking it like 1,000,000 times. It's very empty. Let me just get out of that wind. There we go, kind of out of the wind, kind of not really. Look at this great forbidden cornetto. Look at all those lovely patternings on it. It looks like it's in pretty decent condition, although maybe a bit old in some places. And yes, it is definitely empty. I saw it facing up before I went to grab it, and I'm like, grab it by the thick end, just in case though. This is a Captain Cone. It's not a fatal species, like the sting from a Captain Cone can't kill you, although some of the larger ones, I wouldn't be surprised if they could, actually, saying that. Anyway, super cool shell. It's very uncommon to find one here, or at least I just don't have much luck finding them. Oh, there is nearly nothing on the sand over here. I'm not even kidding, but this one caught my eye. Even though he is so like crusty on top. There's like gunk and stuff to knock off of him. It is still the largest slit keyhole limpet I've ever seen. Actually, is it a keyhole limpet? It's not, it's just a regular limpet. I couldn't remember if it was a keyhole one or not. I gotta decide if I want to like spend time picking that off, because this is the largest one of these guys I've found. And also there is, like, once again, absolutely nothing on the sand. I've got no idea why it's doing this, because you can't exactly blame the holiday makers for the waves taking all the shells away. I think it's just been bad weather around here. My goodness, I can already see it's old. I do wonder how long it's been sitting there for no one to have found it though, considering how packed the beach is with beachgoers. It is a very old Arabian cowrie. It's also very calcified. And when I say a shell is calcified, I mean that it's very, very white. Usually only when it dries. This one is very, very white before it's even dry. Kind of a shame, of course, but this is the natural process of shells, but it's not a keeper for me. I'm going to toss them somewhere that maybe a little kid might find it when the tide goes back down. Have I collected any bivalves today? I don't actually... Oh no, the discrepant Venuses, of course, are bivalves. Anyway, this one is very nice, a lovely pop of orange colour. He's even got some white patterning running through him. This one's just a scaly scallop. Ooh, I think this is the first and only piece of lace coral I've seen today. Usually when a bit washes up, you get a lot of bits washing up, but this is the lone one. Actually, instead of calling it a coral, it's more accurate to call it a bryozoan colony, if that makes sense to anyone. And I almost stepped on it, and I want this little guy too. It's just a mini. There's not very many minis about. I'll try and say that 10 times fast. This one is a stranger's little top shell. Would you look at that? Is it whole? It is whole. I'm counting that as whole. Give it to me. There we go. A little bit chipped on that back, but that's fine. They're like paper thin, very delicate shells. A little bit of a hole on the top. But anyway, it is a violet sea snail. Ooh, I'm kind of like halfway between the shore and the front. I don't usually find too much here. Oh my goodness, this guy has so much algae on him. He looks all fine in there though, and his lip looks pretty good, so I think a bit of a bleach bath would have him coming up looking very nice. It is a music cone. Well, what can I say, everyone? It is another small collection day, but if you have enjoyed it, please hit that like button for me and subscribe if you want to see maybe some more shelling adventures with more shells in them. Oh my goodness, guys. I mean, I kind of expected it. It's probably not going to return to normal until after Australia Day. We're only like a week or two into January. We've got like another week or two before it picks up again, but anyway, there was still a couple of very nice standout shells today. So it is time to talk about a favorite, and if you do have favorites or special mentions, please let me know down below. But first, I want to give a special mention to the nice turkey wing. Just kind of unusual to find one here. I might also give a special mention to this really nice pop of colour, this lovely scaly scallop. Just think that one's pretty cool. And maybe also the discrepant Venus. I just like this one's colour. It's like, once again, a nice pop of colour like that scaly scallop. But on to the favourites. I mean, in my eyes, there's only 2 shells that stand above the rest. And the first one is the very nice brown lined paper bubble shell that I found underneath a rock. He's got like a dent in his shell. It wasn't from the rock, the snail just grew it like that, but very unusual. Also very nice, he's very shiny. And of course the top favorite for the day, because everything else kind of just doesn't speak to me as much as this guy. It is the lovely forbidden cornetto, aka the Captain Cone. Very lovely shell. And that's it for this time, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.